Well, sometimes one can feel really so connected and so in the space and in the zone, like you're really getting the spiritual connection stuff. And then just like that, it's gone. So that has been my experience this past week or so. It went. And I was left with my usual personality, my muggle self, as I call it. It's very frustrating, and you'll know this if you've been there, to be aware that you are more, to be aware of awareness, but yet your field of view is intensely filled with the doings of the separate self and the feeling of being separate. I could lie in bed and just feel like I'm just a separate human being, even though I know I'm not. It's just overwhelmingly separation and the needs of the little personality, which builds a frustration, which makes one feel even more disconnected. So if you can relate to this, stay tuned. We will deal with it, and in a short while, I'll show you how I was able to shift that. One little crazy little trick, which I'll share with you. The first thing to realize and to remind yourself of is that you have consciousness of objects, like your sights, sounds, smells, tastes, thoughts. You can call these the objects of awareness, including the awareness of yourself as a separate being. And then you have awareness itself, like the fact that you are aware. It is just like the knowing of these things. If you ever pause for a moment just to feel how amazing and miraculous it is that one can know or be aware of these objects of awareness. It's quite miraculous. So tune into that sense of knowing, and that is your awareness. Now, this awareness is always effortlessly aware. You're always aware of the things that are happening in your life. You're aware of my voice effortlessly. You're aware of struggle, so there might be struggle, but the awareness is effortless. So that's the one point to bear in mind. And this awareness is the source of your peace, joy, well-being, abundance. It's the second point. So we have this awareness, and it is the source. The problem is when you're triggered and your issues come up, there's no space between this awareness and the objects of the awareness. So if I'm triggered, suddenly all my thoughts of, oh no, I'm a failure, this will never come right, this will always be like this, I'm going to die old and poor, all those things come up. And there's no space between those feelings and the feelings of the separate self and the awareness that is witnessing them. So you can get frustrated with that, but even that becomes an object of awareness, the frustration. Oh, I know that I'm more, but there's no space. I am. So the identification is so rock solid because there's no space. So what we want to do is increase the space between awareness and the object of awareness. And most importantly, the object of awareness of your thoughts that is feeling so triggered, and the object of you as the separate self. So we can also call this video dissolving the separate self, because that's what we really want to do. If you're interested in non-duality inspired teachings, you're interested in dissolving that sense of separate self. So let's do that, and we'll do this almost like a talking meditation. So if you'd like to do this, you can bring to mind something that would trigger you. Maybe you're triggered already now, something's bothering you, and you feel so much like a human, so much like a muggle, even though you know you're not. You can't escape this. You're so close to it. So just bring that to mind, and then turn your awareness onto it so it becomes an object. So you are tuning into the feeling of being triggered and all the sensations around it, including the thoughts. What are the thoughts? And what is the sensation of the thoughts? So if I do it, if I tune into what was triggering me, thoughts, contraction, heaviness, tiredness, frustration, rage, tiredness again. So now I'm making these objects, I'm witnessing them, but still I'm very close to them. There's not much separation yet, but still we've started the process. So you're witnessing, and there's a feeling of, I know I'm more, but I am this, I'm so the separate being. I can't escape a separate being. And that feels like a closing in my heart. So now we witness that. So that is the first beginnings of separation. There's aware, witness, and these are the doings of the separate self. So close. Now, as you're watching your separate self, there's an awareness, and then there's the objects of awareness, but you still seem so close and together and unseparated. Now, try this. Tune into the little voice, the voice of your separate self. What does it sound like or feel like? For me, it would be like weariness, or there's a rage feeling, and it's a little squawky voice. Tune into the voice of you as the separate self. The sound of it and the feel of it. Okay, you got it? Now, make it louder, exaggerate it, make it shout, so make the ego squawk. Ah! And as you do that, watch it, become aware of it. So you can try that now. That little voice of yours that squawks in your heart or in your mind, between your eyes. Make it so loud, and make the physical sensations of it also so loud. The contraction, the anger, whatever, just make it loud. And watch it from awareness. Make it really loud. So I'm wondering what happens as it becomes louder. You're watching it. Do you notice perhaps that the louder it gets, the more aware you are of the silent space that watches it, that is aware of it. That silent space expands to accept all of it. In fact, it doesn't expand, it already is. But the louder you squawk and squeal, the more it exposes the silence of background in which that squawking and squealing is happening. So make it really strong. Let it rip. Let your separate self just say everything it wants to say now. Go for it. And there's this beautiful silent space around it that is untouched, unperturbed. Crazy, But the silence, accepted and is unmoved. So then you can settle more into the background. So now you can let go of some of the squawkiness. It's fine, I can just squawk there in the corner, but you're settling more into spaciousness. Is that working? How does that feel? What are your experiences right now? And also allow any of experience, whether you feel you're getting this or not, allow that into the space of awareness. And even those little ones can squawk, I'm not getting this, but that I'm not getting this is noticed by something greater, is noticed in a space. Sink deeper into that space. And then you can be aware of what else is in the space, the room around you, the sounds. Quietly, all just happening. You are effortlessly aware. Squawking comes and goes. Sound of birds. Right. How do you feel? What do you notice? So now you have just gently and easily found the space around the separate self. The separate self is still there, but we have almost erased it easily, without violence. We've just allowed it to be. and the space takes over. Alright, so we'll gently bring this to an end, and you tell me about how this was for you, what you felt, what you noticed. And remember this technique, just make it squawk, make it loud, and notice it, notice the space around it, shout louder and louder and louder, and go deeper and deeper and deeper into presence around it. Try it, see, let me know what happens. Like and subscribe for more.